So taking off the two front wheels, like I said, I was going to give them a very rough going over with a rattle can in black, so that they at least don't stand out. They actually look a lot better. Obviously they're not really well done. You can still see kind of bits of red. Red's probably the hardest color to actually kind of mask over. I've also done the center caps, and I'll leave the nuts in blue because I think the nuts are in blue actually on these. So I'm just going to do two at a time. Don't have much space in the car, so I'm going to get these two Conti Sports, Contact Sports, fitted onto there. Also, I was looking at the caliper carrier because I'm also thinking about actually extending, getting a bigger disc, and I noticed the caliper is actually loose, which is great. So good thing I noticed that actually before the MOT. So I'm going to tighten that up as well. I also need to get some spriget rings for the wheels because they're not sitting on spriget rings. Also, I need to get some 12mm spacers. These I had some laying around, and obviously the bit is also broken off to hold the rim. So that's not really safe. So welcome back, guys. This is part two. We're gonna jump straight into it from the continuation of the other video. So in today's video, I've actually bolted all the front panel on. And also these bumper sliders were actually still on the bumper. They weren't actually bolted through, so they weren't actually holding this front panel on properly. So that's all on. And I've also ran the car up to make sure there was no leaks through these oil pipes that I've just done. Yep, so I ran that for about 10 minutes. It was fine. Well, you can tell within 30 seconds probably if it was going to leak or not, but it hasn't, so that's really, really cool. That's all screwed on, the air duct on that as well. So I'm just going to give the bumper a quick wipe down and actually put the front back on. So it's starting to take shape with the bumper on and the bonnet down now. What I've got left to do now is put these little grills on. Gave them a bit of a clean already. And then they've got these little clips at the top, which are quite rusty, but I'm gonna see if I can actually get some fresh ones maybe, or if not, just recondition those ones and get them plated. So it takes a screw there, and there's 3 clips at the top. Okay, let me get those clips and clip them on. Looking good. Just need to put the other side on now, and then just the kidney grille. See if I can actually get a new one actually, or maybe I have to get, because the chrome actually on it is, I wonder if that will actually clean up this chrome. If not, maybe I should just get a new one. See if I can source one. For a moment there, it looked, I was taking it apart instead of putting it back together again. So that's the intercooler upgrade, and all the boost pipes upgraded, and also the oil cooler lines and the oil breather done. So now I can kind of start to concentrate on what I need to do on the inside, which is also going to be part of actually getting this water injection plumbed in. So I've started to put this pipe through now. I'm going to start focusing on the inside. Water injection, as you can see, I've already pushed the pipe through and run it along to the boot. And lucky enough, it's actually long enough. So there it is there. Now I just need to mount up the bottle and the pump. Actually, while I was going through the car, I found this sheet of paper, and I think it's from his insurance. Don't know if you guys can zoom in. It was basically a modification report form. It's kind of ticked off what was done to it. So wheels were done to it, interior was obviously stripped, lowered suspension, air filter induction kit, larger injectors, intercooler, transmission, blah, 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 blah. And it also says here 2.5, because I think actually the car actually originally is actually a 2 litre 6-cylinder. It's got a 2.5 in it. And also it says LSD, so I'm assuming that's not for some substance. I'm sure it's for actually a limited slip differential. So, because this car is very much an unknown factor of what's been done to it, what hasn't been done to it. I'm kind of just finding things as I go along. Also, as I've run the pipes through into the boot for the water injection, I was in here actually, I also noticed the shock absorbers. It's got like Powerflex mounts, it looks like, as well as it's got these reinforcement plates. So I wonder where else reinforcement plates have been put. I'm only going to know that when I actually put it on the ramp and have a look underneath. But anyway, okay, so next thing to do is going to be fitting on all these trims and screwing the dash in properly. So finally, with all 4 tyres on now and the front bumper on the front end, I'm actually able to take it out of the dart barn and actually see the car in the daylight again with the wheels. So you guys get an impression of what it looks like. Just need to sort out the stance at the front and put some wheel spacers, probably about 15 on the rear, to get it looking okay. Even though it's only going to Portugal, I still need it to look right, at least. It's just the way it is. Anyway, waffling on. Right, so got this air temp switch, which I'm gonna drill and put in straight into there. Got some plug and some wiring so I can extend the wiring. Also, come around this side. I've already drilled and tapped the nozzle or the jet for the water injection, and that just literally just is a push on fit onto there. It's quite snug. Also, this plate, I got this plate made up, and it's actually a copy of this. It's in alley, as you guys can see. It's that way around. The orientation is like that, to cover this where it used to go, because obviously the timing belt's exposed and you don't want a stone dropping into there. So it look a lot neater with that bolted into place. And that's all bolted on, and it's looking pretty cool, and it's safe on there as well. Probably when I get back to Portugal, I get this anodized black, so it all looks original. It's a lot neater than just having, you know, that cap there with the leads just sticking out. Just doesn't look right, and isn't the look that I'm going to be going for in this. So I might as well just move on the inside. Yep, that's still here. And so this takes some really fine screws to put this on. So gonna get some screws, screw this on, the clock's on properly, and then I can put these trim bits on as well. And also, let me show you guys what I've actually sourced for this. So I've got a standard wheel, the cowling, the trim bit that goes on the top. It's in really bad condition. The levers are peeling off it and stuff. But obviously I'm going to get this retrimmed in Portugal. So by the guy who did my steering wheel, which is amazing work. Those are the carpets that you saw that I cleaned. The glove box, because I need to sort this out as well here with the ECU. I think that's the ABS ECU, which I need to kind of hang up in a different way, as well as this mega squirt. It's just dangling here. It's not ideal. So I'm gonna try and deal with that now as well. And also I was missing the lower trim cover. It goes by the pedals. Now these things go on eBay for £100, if not a bit more. And BMW actually still sell this original, new, and I paid like £90 for it. I mean, yep, it's a lot better to have something brand new, so I'm going to also put that on as well now. The first things first actually is take the old steering wheel off, get the dash bits on, and then put the cowling on and put the original wheel on. I can't wait to see what that's going to feel like with that wheel. And I'm probably going to put, this is actually isn't an eBay special, it's actually an original OMP steering wheel, which are actually quite expensive, these steering wheels. So first things first, let's see what size nut it is, 22 or 24. Looks like a 22, so let's go take that off so we can take this steering wheel off. Trim's all in, looks a lot better. So now I'm just going to put the steering cowling on, taking the wheel off. Yep, so if anyone's interested in this, I'm going to put this up on eBay. I'm going to put it up fairly cheap. It's an original OMP, it's actually not a Chinese copy, it's an original one. It's in real leather as well, it's in really good condition. Yep, the link will be in the description. Yep, so if anyone's interested, I'll put it up on eBay, put it up at a reasonable price, so I can get rid of it. Right, so I kind of started tidying up a few wires and checking, and then to my shock, I saw this. This is actually the original, looks like the original ECU loom, and they've literally run the wires from the Mega Squirt over there, run it along the back, and then actually soldered them into this plug and heat shrinked them. At least they're heat shrinked and soldered in. But wow, why not just cut the plug off, solder these wires straight into where they need to go, and actually mount the ECU here? It just would have made life so much easier and so much tidier. Okay, well that's something that's going to be done in Portugal anyway, so that's another thing to add to the list to tidy up. So to put this cowling on, the top half isn't as easy as I thought, so I had to remove a 10mm there and a couple of 10mm down there as well, so I can get some movement in the dash, so I can quickly just slide it over. Wow, so that was a bit of a mission. Had to take off the wiper stalk so I can actually kind of flip it round as I lifted up the dashboard to kind of get that on. So that's on. So whew, a bit longer than I thought, but then sometimes these things take a little bit longer. So now I just need to fix this lower half on. Yes, so now it doesn't look like I've actually hot wired the car. It looks like the car isn't stolen, because obviously going through into Europe now due to Brexit is a lot more complicated. So that looks a lot better. Now I can actually unbox this box fresh under tray and actually get that on there and then get the wheel on, which I can't wait to see. It's starting to look like a car, looks a bit more complete now. So let me get the steering wheel. Yeah, it looks good. It's in leather as well, and it's actually in really good condition. I think I don't even need to retrim this. The leather's actually really good on this, the one I bought. I don't think I'm going to need to retrim this actually, or needs maybe a bit of cream. But it's in really good condition, so I'm really quite happy with that. Okay, let's bolt this on. So that's all bolted in and looking good. Really quite happy with this. Actually, I did a check, and apparently the standard steering rack on the E30 is about 4 and a bit turns from lock to lock, and I think if you run the Z3 one, I think it is or something, it's 3.5 turns. This has actually got the shorter rack on it, because I've just tested it and it's 3.5 turns. Let me just turn it on and show you guys. Okay, so let me stop the wipers. All right, so that's full lock there, like that in that position. So 1, 2, 3. There you go, just 3 and a bit. So I've got the shorter rack on it already, so that's a cool thing. I'm just literally finding things as I go along, because I don't know what's been done to the car, so it's that's another bonus. It's got the Z3 steering rack already fitted on it. Let me just turn this beast off. Next thing on my list will be this A-pillar. I've already done one side, so let me just get the other side done now as well.